Sup guys, it's Sean here. I just want to quickly say that I will be hosting my first ever webcam locals. The prizing is going to be a box of BT17, Secret Crisis, or a cash payout. Additionally, our amazing artist, Luis, he has made some very beautiful art for us over the past years. That's going to be available as additional prizing in the form of playmats. So yeah, if you guys are interested in joining a fun, friendly, and competitive community, come on and join the official Doo Destined webcam locals. It is going to be this Friday, August 23rd, 7:30 p.m. EST. Make sure you join the Doo Destined Discord. Links are going to be in the description, and I hope to see you there. Thanks. Bye. What's up guys, it's Sean Courier with Toon Do Destined here, bringing to you another video. This time around it's going to be another match video featuring the old big bad of Digimon NUMEMON on the left versus me playing Imperial on the right. It was a pretty good match. I literally just played it, so I figured I'd go ahead and get an upload in. So I'm going to go ahead and stop talking and play the video. So NUMEMON player starts by hatching and digivolving into the broken Uko for 1, setting me to 1, and I counter his turn by digivolving into Wormmon, and then digivolving for 2 into the XV, choking him back to 1. He's going to push out the Uko, search top 3, add the Adamon, and then he's going to hatch his raising area. We'll see if this Ukomon is still relevant after tomorrow with the ban list coming in. But there goes the jury. He pitches the NUMEMON and gets the draws going. And I counter by setting up a Davis Ken Tamer for 4, setting him to 2. And then he goes into another Ukomon. And he's just ready to start playing more bodies, going into the Protoform, into the Monze X, playing another Jerry, trashing, and then drawing another 2 cards, and then drawing off of his Suno as well. And then he's sealing the deal here with Venusmon. Honestly, Venusmon is such a good answer to Imperial, just because Pyodramon won't get effects, Imperial won't get effects, Aces won't get effects, so he's essentially stalling me out here, which will allow him to set up even more bodies. I stay in raising, I activate Davis and Cannon, searching top 3. No, I take a little time here. I'm not too sure which one to pick up, because essentially it's both the starter deck Pyodramons and then the old Imperial Dragon mode. I remember I did have a Pyodramon in hand, but I always hate bottom decking 2 level 5s is a little suspect, not gonna lie. So I really want that fighter mode too, or the dragon mode. So I end up picking it up just so that I can push my turn. Just because this is actually my first time playing this matchup. I feel like I need the speed, so I end up digivolving for 2 into the XV, going to 2, and then I end up choking him to 1 by just hard dropping the Vmon. He pushes out his Uko, gains a memory, and then his other Uko lets him search top 3 and adds his Monze and hatch. And then, of course, he hatches his raising area, digivolves into yet another Uko. So, honestly, just the Uko rush here is so crazy. There's nothing that Imperial can do to really stop it. You don't run Digi Emperor in Imperial. I mean, I guess you could in theory, but the deck space is so tight. So there's not much I can do here except for just watch my demise. And then he goes into Shine Gray Ruin mode, which of course pops all of my Digimon because it negs everything minus 5k. So at this point, I'm feeling pretty demoralized. I know I probably lose. He's got 4 bodies in the play area with an Ukomon in the back. And then he's going to be gaining memory too, just because he has the promo Ukos, which gain him a memory. So essentially he's going to 3 no matter what. And I can't play anything with my Davis and Ken because it's going to insta-die from Shine Gray Ruin mode. So there he goes, doing his thing with Ukomon, searching, adding his pieces, gaining 2 memory. and then hatching another egg. He goes into that NUMEX. I mean, just doing NUMEMON things, going into yet another Uko in the back, going into Monze, and then he's probably, Monze X. And then at this point, this is pretty much game set right here. He has to hit into a, what do you call it? An option card here, but I don't run options in my Imperial list, unfortunately. So he swings, minus 5k to the board again. And then he swings 2 checks, hits Davis Ken, but again, it doesn't really matter here. He's got all the swings for game here. And that completely seals the deal. So quick game there by the NUMEMON player. There's not much to do against an Uko rush into double. It was essentially like a triple shutdown turn with Venus, Shine Gray Ruin, Digivolve into, and then another swing with Shine Gray Ruin. It's crazy. Can't even choke him to 1 because of the Ukos. Yeah, not much to say about that. Just NUMEMON things. I opt to go first. Game 2, Digivolving into Vmon and then playing Davis Ken. I was considering Digivolving for 2 into an XV there, but I was like, screw it. I just want to get the ball rolling, play and hard drop the Davis Ken for 4. He goes into that broken NUMEMON again, and then hard drops the Nume, goes into Nume X, and then he is going to swing with jamming because he has a Tamahime Tamer underneath. And then he does play the Chikuri for 3, and he does pop out his Tamahime Tamer. He knows that if I come out, I'm just gonna swing over it anyway. So there's no point in having like a reboot per se. So he doesn't want to lose that Tamer. I'm debating here. It's funny because I actually did not have Sting here. I just figured, screw it. I'm gonna use Davis and Ken to get the Sting, to see if I can get the Sting. And then I did have the XV in hand. So like I knew here that, so he had a suspended Digimon. I had the Wormon, and then because of the draw egg, if I have a green Digimon, when attacking, sorry, I'm gonna pause this. When attacking draw card, I knew I would at least be able to dig 4 cards. That's why I really like the draw egg. So yeah, he has suspended Digimon. I knew I could swing and get a free draw with XV. So that's 4 draws. But luckily I got the Sting off of my Wormon search anyway, so it didn't matter. But I swing into his Nume X. He plays the Nume, and then I end up jogressing here into the BT17 IMPERIALDRAMON, gaining 2 memory off the effects, and then gaining a memory off of the Tamer. Of course, I swing into his Nume so that I'm controlling his board. I unsuspend, and I swing into his Chikuri. And then check against, jamming, piercing, no problem. And then I go into the dragon mode for 3, suspending his Tamahime to unsuspend. And now this is really just a super tough position for him. He bring out his Uko, and he's able to add another piece and hatch. But the thing is, once dragon mode is out in this matchup, it's so tough for the Nume player. Just because if he plays a Digimon or Digivolves with an effect, I'm gonna be able to I'm gonna be able to respond with a fighter mode, which I definitely have in my hand. I think I have both fire modes in my hand actually at this point in time. So I do play Davis Ken, search with Vmon, add a card, and at this point it really is just like slow and steady. When wins the race, I swing it with dragon mode. I Digivolve into the worm in the back. So now I'm actually pretty set up with a Davis Ken and a Rookie in the back. I am at 1 memory, so I think I'm debating on Digivolving into the fighter mode. I do end up doing it just so that I can bottom deck that Nume and I can pressure game next turn, just because he has 2 security. Essentially, I'm going to be swinging for 2 checks with fighter mode, and then game with Rookie at bare minimum. Even if he Edamons me here, that there's not much he can do from like an Edamon standpoint, like an Edamon Valk A standpoint, just because I I have so much control at this point in the game. The tempo's completely off. I could always just start another breeding phase, Digivolve, and then with Davis and Ken, just completely obliterate him. Although looking back, I think objectively the correct call is to actually just stay in dragon mode just to have that blanket effect. But it didn't really matter here because there's not much you can do with the amount of memory that I gave him. So here I am just jogressing again into another IMPERIALDRAMON, gaining 2 memory, gaining a memory with Davis Ken. He's got 2 security. I'm swinging and I'm unsuspending. Oh no, I'm swinging with fighter mode first, just because it has piercing and 2 checks, and then I swing with the IMPERIALDRAMON. So there's pretty much just the exact way to win against Nume. You just pressure them, give them as little memory as possible, and just always have the threat of the dragon mode ability going into fighter. Now we're going into game 3. Let's see what happens here. So it looks like he's yep. Let's see, he's starting Digivolves into the Uko, and then he just hard drops his Nume with the Tamahime Tamer, and he spits it out. I respond by Digivolving into a rookie and choking him to 1 with Davis and Ken, so it's a pretty good response there. But he is going to start his aggression, bringing out his Uko hatching, and then Digivolving to Nume X. I wouldn't be surprised if he tucks his Tamahime underneath and swings. No, instead he's just going to go into Digimp. He's just going to play Digimp, which essentially is going to stop me from making the plays that I want to make. I definitely want it to come out and use Davis and Ken to play a rookie and then gain a memory with that Vmon, but because of Digimp I can't actually come out. So yep, so I do decide to just stay in raising and Digivolve into setting up for the next turn. Next turn I am going to be able to Jogress, but we'll see if Nume can actually capitalize on this slowdown here. So he is going to swing with Nume X, and he does hit a Davis Cannon, which is huge for me. Whenever an Imperial has two dual tamers, it feels real good, because that's basically a memory setter if you think about it. They're just going to gain memory whenever they Digivolve. But he is going to use a Protoform to Digivolve from the Chikuri into another Nume X. A little interesting here. I think he's just trying to dig at this point, to be honest. He goes into the Uko for 1 in the back, so this is looking like a pretty good position for me, because it seems like no matter what, he's going to send me to 3 memory, which is a lot considering I have the 2 dual tamers already. He tucks his Tamahime underneath, and then he is just going to play the Jerry, and it's going to trash the Plat Nume. So that's something to at least keep in mind, because if I do swing into the Nume X and it has its replay effect, he is going to be able to play the Plat Nume and gain 2 memory and potentially pass turn. But I play the Davis Can, searching top 3, adding, I think it was Stingmon, and then I play the Vmon, and I add that XV. I remember I was actually missing the XV, so I was really happy to hit that. Thanks for hitting that second Davis and Ken. So I Digivolve into the XVs for 2, and I imagine I'm going to go into another Stingmon or use the Stingmon that I have right now to DNA. I think that's exactly what I'm debating on here. But I do end up going into using the stack to go into IMPERIALDRAMON. I didn't have the starter here, but that's okay. I use gain a memory with XV's effect and tap the 2 to strip. You know, now that I'm watching this, I think this was actually a super big misplay. This match was directly after a 13-hour shift, so my brain wasn't exactly working. I chose to strip 3, but for some reason, but I can actually strip 6, so totally missed trigger on that, but it doesn't really matter. I ended up bottom decking his Nume X anyway. Swing, unsuspend, swing, using the IMPERIALDRAMON effect. I'm at 4 memory, so I still have a lot of juice left in my turn. And I do have that end of turn Vmon, so if ever I can keep extending, utilizing DNA Digivolving effects. he's at 3 memory, and then he has 3 bodies on board. I'm just trying to figure out if there's a way for me to board wipe him, or the best way I can control his board. And essentially, the way I did that is by digivolving into Dragon Mode, suspending his Uko. I could I mean, of course, I could suspend his like Digi-Emperor, his other Digimon. But the thing is, doesn't really matter at this point. All I want to do is be able to control the amount of memory that he's getting. So I do choose to suspend his Uko, because if when he brings his rookie out, he's gonna be able to gain a memory. So choking him to as little as possible is the best scenario. I don't actually have piercing, so there's no chance of me hitting into something crazy like a Tamehime in security. So this is just hands down the safest play I can make. The thing is, I'm also debating on like, oh, what happens if he uses Edamon? Well, the thing is that, because that's really, there's 2 level 5s that he can go into, right? I mean, I guess he could also go into the Digivolve Monze, but not a lot of lists run that at a high amount. So I'm like, okay, he can either go into Edamon and then Valk Ace me, or he can just do Monzemon and give one of my stacks, more than likely my Dragon Mode security attack -1. And at that point, I don't really care. But the thing is, if he does the Edamon Valk Ace combo, my Dragon Mode will take priority. I will be able to go into my fighter mode and bottom deck his Valk Ace. So that's ultimately why I leave his level 4s up on the board. That, along with the choking potential, like I said, preventing him from gaining a memory with the Ukomon. So in this case, he searches top 3, and then he does add that Jerry off the Ukomon search, and then he hatches. Digivolves into Goku in the back. And that's kind of just like a tricky situation for him. He is going to be able to Digivolve into Nume X and then draw off the Suno. But again, like I said, there's not much for him to do at 1 memory. The magic memory number for Nume really is 3. So the more and more you can prevent a Nume player from getting to 3 is great, because 3 allows them to Digivolve into Monze, and then from there they'll be able to go into Monze X and just like make your day really sad. But choking them makes it so that all they can do is go into level 5. So he goes into the Monze and then pops my Vmon, giving it -3k. My Dragon Mode stack is at security attack -1, so it doesn't really matter what happens to it at this point. I do play the Wormmon using a Davis-Ken effect, and then I'm going to play, it looks like the promo Vmon. And then I Digivolve into the back just to get another draw. I think at this point I am actually trying to see, I'm trying to find some pieces. I think I'm trying to find the Primogen at this point. Just so that I can do some memory gaining shenanigans. So I am swinging with the Dragon Mode. Again, I know that he may potentially have Ace in his hand, but I literally don't care, because I do have a fighter in hand. So if he aces, I'm going to be able to fighter mode and bottom deck his Ace, and then it'll overflow and I'll have even more memory. So I Digivolve into the Sting, and then the XV. I go into the Jogris, gaining a memory off of the DNA Digivolve. Pyodramon will suspend everything. I'll gain 2 memory with the Davis-Ken, and then I guess I missed the trigger again. Jeez Louise. I think it doesn't really matter at this point, though, to be honest, because everything's suspended anyway. I'm swinging it out. I see I did draw the Primogen, so I'm able to push for game here. I do the Primogen for 2, and then I do Digivolve into the old Imperial. It's actually crazy. Like I said in my deck list video, it's crazy how much I go into the old Imperial, even though it's only a 1-of. Like, this is a clear example right here. You're just drawing so many cards. You see it all the time, and in those clutch situations, it just helps you extend your turn. Although, to be honest, like I said, that was already a really good position. I definitely would have been able to choke him at 1, and keep my Imperial Dramon Dragon Mode. That's really all you have to do in this matchup. You just need to have a dragon mode in play, and if they try to do anything suspect, then you just wreck them. Just because, I mean, dragon mode completely counters the entire playstyle of the deck. But yeah, there's a quick video for you guys. Hope you guys liked it. Catch you on the next one. Peace.